back. If you left, come back.
Yeah.
We were scheduled, we had a different live schedule for today, but we missed this one last week. And I feel like this has been, like, these arabesque ornaments are so, like, hot right now.
Yes.
Even last year.
Yes.
I think it must have started the last couple of years. I missed the memo, but we're here and we're going to show y'all how to do this using sublimation. And we figured y'all would be a little bit more excited about this than, like, the other one.
Yeah.
We can do the other one. It's really cool. We'll do it at a later date, though. So we're going to be doing the sublimation tile today. These are such a cool, this is such a cool craft.
It is a very cool craft. It did take me, I will say this, it took a lot of trial and error to really get it down pat with the sublimation.
Right.
So if you are going to sublimate on these using this technique that I'm going to teach you, you're going to be like, what?
Like, why is she doing all that extra stuff?
Why are you doing all the extra stuff? Why is it so hot? Why are you sublimating so long? This doesn't make sense. Well, it will once we get into it, because it's really going to, working with tile and working with the laminate sheet is going to be a little bit different. Now, this is something that you can do, and we actually are going to do come boot camp.
Yes.
That you don't have to sublimate on.
Right.
So the good thing about it is we do have a template on our website for this specific tile. Already, you pull it into Design Space, it's already to these specifications, like to the size of this tile.
Right.
So it works great. So you don't have to do these sublimation. You can do these with vinyl. It's going to be, you would do like a little bit of a different design.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to be able to work with the print that we're going to be working with, but if you wanted to do like the banner across it.
What if you did printable HTV for the pattern? If they had printable, or not printable HTV, printable vinyl, and did the pattern on it, you could do the pattern.
If you did printable vinyl and sliced it out, printed this, and then did the print and cut, because we are going to be doing print and cut even with sublimation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would work out.
I love that.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've got not a lot of people watching because they all thought that we were.
It's just a couple, Gail and Tracy, they're here all the time. They'll come back.
Excuse me, let me grab my water real quick.
Lauren has been having her cough still from, you all know last week we were on a struggle bus.
Yeah.
We're not as much.
No.
It's like on a different bus.
Same bus, we're just not driving it this time.
Yeah.
We're still sitting on the same bus. We're just not driving the struggle bus right now.
Same road.
We're just, maybe a couple seats behind the driver.
Right. But we're making it, and we're really excited to be here. I haven't actually seen the full process of this, so it's going to be kind of a learning experience for me. And Lauren, when she was doing it, all those questions she was saying, y'all are going to be asking us, because she was like, why would they do that?
This is ridiculous. I can't believe I have to do what?
Yeah. So I'm excited to see like actually how you do it all in totality, like the whole thing.
Yes.
So it's going to be really cool. We are running a special on the sublimation course, no code needed, and it's $70 off. So if y'all see this sublimation and you're like, dang, like I want to do this. Sublimation is such a fun, cool craft.
It really is.
And it's a sellable craft, which
very sellable.
Yeah.
And we are all like, I think we have talked about this before. We are in the process of we're really like literally in the midst of updating this. This will be going live, especially for those that already have the sublimation course. The updates will be going live very soon. If you've if you don't have the sublimation course, but you still want to jump in and get those updates, do that now, because this is a really great way to get started. I mean, the holiday seasons are coming up. You could just be like, hey, can I get my Christmas present early so I can make money with it? I mean, why not?
Yeah, and you can make all your Christmas gifts this year. I mean, you can make something for everybody with sublimation.
Right. No, this is not for the word search. We're doing the live with the arabesque. We're sublimating on just your regular bathroom tile that you can get from Lowe's.
Pretty cool.
It's a really cool. We're using a little hack today, so I'm really excited to show you guys that.
Yes.
I guess. No, this is not the like I said, this is not the personalized word search frame. We may add that back in later.
Yeah, we're going to try to plug it in later on. We missed this one last week. We had a lot of sickness, and we weren't able to do this project last week, but we really wanted you all to have it before Christmas. So that's why we're doing it today.
Okay.
All right.
I think we're ready to just go ahead and jump in.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So now that we are over here, I was checking the heat on my heat press because we're gonna start the process. I'm gonna go through the materials really quick, and then I'm actually just gonna throw this tile in here because it does take it a minute. So we have quite a few things here on our table. Do not fret, don't worry, like it'll all work
Come
out.
together.
So, yep.
I brought in the ones that you trialed to see, so you could.
So I can show them.
Yeah, I thought you might want to.
Okay, so let's go overhead and we're gonna go over all of the supplies that we need for this project. So obviously the base of our project, these are the arabesque tiles that we are using. Now these are the Satori tiles. They do come from Lowe's. This is a Lowe's special, like you can only get this specific tile from Lowe's that I have seen. It is linked down below. Now one thing I want to show you guys, I'm gonna pull this one off. This tile has like a little bit of a edge on it. So it's not like super, I don't know, this middle part is not super raised, but it still like kind of goes off.
It's like beveled a little bit.
It's still beveled. So, yeah, I do sound a lot better than I did last week.
Yes, much.
I'm still trying to work through that, but we're getting there. It is still beveled, but I was having issues with figuring out how am I going to get the sublimation to the edge of this tile. So let me show you the first one that I did. Does it look bad? No. It doesn't look terrible. Does it look great? No. No.
It could be better.
It does not look great. It could be better. So this is the issue that I ran into first when I was trying to recreate this tile. And I will show you exactly how to get this look. And it's just, I promise you all, it's gonna blow your mind.
Are you gonna show us your nails today? Because girl, they look good.
Oh, do they?
They look good.
They're spider webs. They're French tip spider webs today.
Oh my gosh!
And they have flashed like they're glitter too.
Oh, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
Okay.
We have to have a moment.
We have to have a moment for the nails always. So this is gonna be the base of our ornament. Is obviously this arabesque tile. Now, the next thing that you have to have for this are your lamination sheets. Now, we did have somebody ask us earlier, do you have to coat the tile with something to sublimate on it? So you cannot sublimate on this tile like directly to this tile. It does not have a polymer coating on it. So what we are doing is we are adding a lamination sheet to the front, and then that's what it is going to sublimate on, okay?
And you can use those laminated sheets for like canvases. You can sublimate on canvases with them. Lots of things.
So the lamination sheets are the hack that we're going to be talking about today when it comes to sublimation. You can actually use these lamination sheets on, I have used them on canvases. I've used them on wood. I've used them on notebooks that I wanted to sublimate on. I've used them on tiles. There's so many different things. Really anything that you can adhere this lamination sheet to,
you can sublimate
on.
Right.
Okay? So that's why this is the key to today's project, is the key or the hack to today's project is this lamination sheet. So we have our tile, we have our lamination sheet. The next thing that to get this absolutely flawless look on this beveled edge, the next thing that you absolutely have to have, and y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, a sublimation pillow.
She says that because she thought that when she learned
I was like, this is insane. Why do I need that? That's not something that I'm going to use. Yes, it is. Yes, I do.
Yes, you will.
Yes, you will. And I absolutely love it. Now, this is, yes, the laminating sheet does turn it glossy. I mean, it's glossy to begin with. So it doesn't turn it any more glossy.
Yeah, it looks good. You can't even tell that laminating sheet's on there.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that you had put it on the final product. I didn't know that there was, I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, you
like
can't tell.
On it.
Yeah.
So.
But the sublimation pillow is going to be key with this specific, this project. Now, I did do this smaller one without the sublimation pillow. It is completely flat all the way across. This tile, though, we don't have The file that fits this tile exactly, as you can see, the arabesque is a lot different. It's not as noticeable. And I think this tile may have came from Home Depot.
It did. The little baby one.
The baby one came from Home Depot, and it is flat. It does not have a beveled edge. So if you want to try it out on this one, you can. If you don't have the pillow and you want to test it out on this one, then you can try it out on this one. It's going to be a little different. You're just going to want to make sure that this fits inside, and you'll just have to have a square. Like, I wouldn't try to size this down the way we're going to do this one today, and you'll understand why in a little bit. So the sublimation pillow is a must for this beveled tile. So before we go any further, if we can go to 1, what I'm going to do now is I've got my heat press set at 400 degrees.
Cray.
I know y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but you have to set, it has to be a very high temperature because the ceramic tiles stay cold. They don't, it takes them a while to heat up. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to actually close my press on my pillow because I'm wanting to heat this pillow up. Because what I'm going to do, you'll see here in a minute, like this pillow is going to be what changes the game. So we're just gonna go ahead and close this, and I'm gonna have to readjust my pressure, pull it up some. See, even that's a little bit too tight. Your pressure is gonna be, you're gonna have to bring your pressure up quite a bit. There we go.
So you want it super tight on there.
You want it tight, but not really, really tight. I'm just saying you're gonna have to adjust your pressure up.
Okay.
Because the pillow is going to give this, as you can see, there's a gap in between this. So you're just going to let this heat up. So I'm letting this heat up, and then we'll go ahead and get into it. So obviously we have to have our butcher paper for this. We have our sublimation printer that is loaded with our A-sub paper. Now I know we've said you can sublimate with copy paper. And you can. I have found that it works better if you are sublimating with textiles on copy paper when you are doing like a hard or rigid surface. I personally have just gotten better results with the A-sub paper.
Yeah.
And that may be different for everybody. But for me personally, I have gotten better results on a hard or rigid surface with using A-sub paper. We do have our heat glove. You all, if you've been around with sublimation, I am obsessed with the Dye-Trans Pro Spray. This is our adhesive spray. I'm obsessed with this, so I do this instead of tape now. And then of course I have my
your cutting mat?
My cutting mat, because we are going to be actually cutting the shape out of the ornament, and you will see this in a little bit. So we are going to go ahead and get started because you actually have to put your tile in here and let it heat up for about 5 minutes.
So this wouldn't really be a great project for a Cricut press, would you say?
No.
You would recommend a heat press?
I would recommend a heat press for this just because it takes so long to heat that tile all the way through.
Okay.
And heating the tile all the way through really is key for this project. So now that I've let this heat up, very hot, very hot, I'm going to take some butcher's paper. And actually, if you'll grab me a couple sheets of copy paper, that would be great. And I'm going to place my butcher's paper down over my pillow just because I don't want anything to ruin the pillow. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing, this is the crazy part, guys. If we'll go overhead, you're going to use, so the side of the laminating sheet that you're going to be using is the matte side. As you can see there, this is kind of like more of a matte. This is your shiny side. So the matte side is the side that's going to have the adhesive on it. So you're going to place it with a shiny side down, matte side up, ornament with the white facing down, okay? Then I'm going to take a sheet of copy paper, and I'm actually going to put the copy paper, we're gonna place our ornament like we just had it. So it goes pillow, butcher's paper, laminating sheet, ornament, and then we're going to take a piece of copy paper and place it over top of our ornament. Now, if you wanted to do another layer of butcher paper, you can. I'm not going to. We are going to be pressing this at 400 degrees, okay? 400 degrees for 330 seconds.
Very specific.
Very specific. And trust me when I say this is going to be what you need, because I have tried less. It's 330, not 333, 330. Which the 3 seconds isn't going to make, it's not going to make or break this project. But that is what we are going to be pressing this to get the laminating sheet stuck to the tile. So what's going to happen is the heat press is going to heat the tile all the way through. And then the pillow, remember we preheated our pillow, so it's hot as well. It's going to hug up around the tile.
And that's why you're putting the tile with the laminate sheet face down. That's
Yes.
why, because the pillow's gonna like give it a hug.
Yes.
It's gonna give it a little
The
hug.
pillow is going to give it a hug.
How cute.
So now we're just going to let this go for 330 seconds. I'm going to move some things around on my table, and then we will go ahead and get started with the,
The design.
that part of it.
Someone asked about a Cricut AutoPress. I would say, I don't know how much you can alter the pressure with the AutoPress. If you can adjust the pressures on it, I think you would be fine to use the AutoPress for this. But let me know. Let me know if you can, how much you're able to. I feel like it would be like the Easy Press, where you just kind of bump it up to low, medium, or high for pressure settings. Do you think? I don't know.
I don't know. We don't have the AutoPress. We've never worked with the AutoPress.
Yeah, just anyways, if you
But
try
I'm sure.
it, let us know.
I mean, it's a heat press, so yeah, it should work.
Yeah, because you're going to be able to hug it. So that's why
Yeah.
the Easy Press wouldn't work. But like an auto press or a big heat press would work.
This is a heat activated laminating sheet.
It's just like a basic laminating
Just a
piece
basic
of laminator.
laminating sheet that you put through like the laminator. It's heat activated, so you
Right.
have to have the heat. So now that I've kind of got everything cleaned off, we are going to hop over into Design Space.
So there will be a replay on this. So if you missed the beginning, you can go back and check that out after
Yes.
the video's done.
So the pattern that we're going to be using today is the holly pattern that is on Makers Gonna Learn website. You can go to Cut Files and you will find this under, if you'll just type holly, you can actually go to patterns and you could type holly pattern and you can find this. We are using the arabesque tile. Once again, this is a cut file with Makers Gonna Learn. If you'll just go to our cut files and type in arabesque, you will find this file that is specific to the Lowe's arabesque tiles. And then of course we are using this one. You would think if you search Merriam Bright that you would be able to find it. It is actually named Trees. So you will have to search Trees for this one. But we are going to just be using the Merriam Bright portion of this. So 3 cut files that we're going to be using, or 3 files on the Makers Gonna Learn website is what we're going to be using. So we're going to start out with this file. Now I'm going to take one of the tiles that I've already, actually let's do this one that I've already sublimated on, and we are just going to double check the size of this to make sure that the sizing in Cricut Design Space is correct. So I'm just going to, we're looking at about 3.5, and I think we're like at 3.6 there by a little over 4.25, and that's what we're at. So I'm actually just going to leave it at that, or if you wanted to even, the good thing about this is if you bump it up just a little bit, that gives you a little more wiggle room on the outside edges, so you can make sure it covers the whole thing. So we'll just bump that up to 3.7 and 4.4 based on the measurements that we have. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to pull over our pattern, our holly pattern. We are going to place it in front, and you can kind of move this around to where you want it. So if you wanted like holly leaves, the holly berries showing up there, Just kind of move it around to where you want it on the pattern. And what you could do is actually click that pattern. We're going to bring it to front. It
Or you
covers it
could
up.
change that shape to a guide and then move it around on top of the pattern and then change it back to the cut function.
Okay, so we'll change this to a guide and we're going to bring it to front and see where we want it. Now remember, we're going to have that banner going across the middle. So let's do like right here. I think I like this.
Cute.
Then I'm going to change it back to a basic cut, select both of them, and then we're just going to slice that.
Or you can use one of the new functions also. If you guys have played around with them, you can use those in this instance for them.
I actually was going to, but then when it did not give me the option. So like, let's just say I've got this, but I think it's because one is a basic cut and one is a print and cut. I selected both of them. It doesn't give me the option here.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
just sliced with that still yet. Everyone learns something new every day.
Dang, okay.
So we're gonna move that over to the side. We're gonna leave this here. Now, let's go to camera 1 because we are at about 30 seconds left and I don't want you guys to miss this part because this is going to be key.
I about forgot about it. It was taking for so long.
I know. This is why you can kind of sit it and forget it. You can do multiple of these at a time. Do we not have a true control knife in here?
Surely. I'll grab one for you.
Yeah, grab me a true control knife if you don't care.
Oh, wait, there might be one here.
We're gonna go ahead and put our heat resistant glove on because this is going to be so hot. Y'all, I don't know if you can see this, but it gets crispy. It gets very, very crispy. Like, it's crispy. So it is going to be stuck to the paper. Do not touch it. However, with your heat resistant glove, I don't know if you all can see these bubbles. Take your finger and we're going to just kind of move those bubbles out while it's hot, okay? So you're just going to make sure, and we're going to press it down, make sure it adheres around everything and move this around while it is hot, okay? However, I do not want you guys to, one thing that I have discovered where it works so much better is if you leave this alone, let it cool down before you trim the edges. Because what happens is this laminating sheet is still malleable, like it's still movable, it's not stiffened up yet because this is still hot. So what you're gonna wanna do, we've pressed all of our bubbles out. One thing I did learn when doing this, do not take one of your squeegees and try to squeegee it out because the tile is so hot that it will take off pieces of your squeegee.
I was about to ask you, why don't you just use a squeegee?
Because
I can't believe that.
I tried that. And then there were blue pieces of my squeegee left on my tile. It melted it.
That's
literally
crazy.
melted it.
Yeah, so
Tina, I would not try your burnisher. I mean, the burnishing tool is rubber, so I don't know. I would still just use my heat-resistant glove. I can't feel the heat through here because it's so thick, and I would just move it down, okay? So we're going to set this over to the side. We're going to let that cool down. We're gonna move, and I don't know if you all can see, like how this left an indention.
She's crispy.
But look how you can see the indention in this butcher paper that the pillow left, which is that's how well that pillow works. It gives it that nice hug. And that's why that is very important, okay? So back to Design Space. We have sliced out our pattern. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this guy here because I don't want to mess with him. I'm actually going to work with this guy. I'm going to grab a basic shape. We're just going to grab a rectangle. We're going to bring the rectangle down. We are going to unlock this, and we're just going to stretch this like a banner across our tile, okay? So you want it to cover both. You want it to go overlap this side and this side because you want those rounded edges. Now you can make it as skinny if you wanted it to be skinny across there. You can make it as fat. Really, this is going to be your preference. Maybe you don't want to use Merry & Bright. Maybe you want to do something different, just one word across it. Then I would probably go more skinny. I really think the skinny would look good. But anyway, we are going to probably do it about like this. And then
Where did you order your sublimation pillows from?
Amazon.
Okay.
That was something that's not linked down below.
I'll get it.
I forgot to add that to the links because that was actually something that I added more last minute. Like I tried and tried and tried without the pillow. I tried to figure it out without the pillow. We did get it done. As you can see, this one was done without the pillow. It's still not the best, I don't feel like. I don't know if you guys can see. Sometimes it'll pick it up in the light, but there's like little ripples, like right in here. And I think it's because it didn't have anything to hug it to get it taut. So anyway, it worked, but it wasn't great. So back to our share screen. I've got those both selected. We're going to align and just center these, make sure they're centered. And then from there, you know what? We're going to try to use one of the new tools.
Do it.
One of the new tools. So I want to intersect.
I think subtract.
Intersect, right there it is.
Oh yeah, because you're just wanting that middle portion.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So if you want to, before you do this, if you want to just be on the safe side, go ahead and duplicate this guy over here, have him over here, okay? So because we just want what's inside this ornament, what you're going to do, select them both. Down here on the bottom right-hand corner, there's this new button. This is on the beta version of Design Space. You are going to click that. Now it's going to come up all of these different things. Unite means it puts those two together. It's a lot like weld, but you can undo unite. Subtract is going to mean that it is going to leave out one of them. So subtract is going to subtract this out.
Whatever image is on top, it'll subtract out.
Yes, the image that's on top, it will subtract that out. Right, like I said, we want where the two images are touching and nothing else.
Yeah.
So what that is, if you want where the two images are touching and nothing else, that is the intersect. Now, if you wanted where the two images are not touching, then that's going to be exclude, and it's going to exclude out that middle portion. So we want the intersect. So now we're just going to hit intersect, and that gives us the perfect placement here.
Gorgeous,
Boom.
gorgeous.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to my colors. I actually just messed around with the colors a little bit. Design Space doesn't have the picker tool, does it? It's just Canva.
I don't think that you can do the picker tool.
Man, I wish it did.
I know, but you can put a hex code in. I mean,
yeah,
you can click on that green that you did previously and get that hex code.
Oh, it's already up. I mean, it's already in there. I just wanted to kind of show them if they wanted to get a color that was in here to move it around. How I got this color is if you just come up here to advance, you can just move this around and kind of play around with it, get a color that matches. I'm just gonna use the color that we had previously used. So now what I'm going to do is select both of these. Once again, go to Align. We're going to center them both. Now with the Merry & Bright, what I'm going to do is so this doesn't give you the option to ungroup. This is still, I think this is actually a PNG. So it's not an SVG. You can't ungroup this. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to grab a shape once again. We are going to cover up these trees.
We're getting a lot of questions about the Cricut Easy Press. This project is going to be a heat press project. You can try it with an Easy Press. I'm just going to say you're probably going to have to be sitting over top of it, holding it down, putting a lot of pressure on it. So you could do it. I don't know that I would recommend a full design, like a full tile design.
Yeah.
If you wanted to like do a monogram on it, and then you wanted to use your Easy Press for that, but a heat press
still, so the issue with using the Easy Press is, if you all were listening, I said we are doing this at 400 degrees. The Easy Press can do 400 degrees, no problem. The problem is going to be holding it down for 5 minutes.
like hard.
330, so 330 seconds, 65, it's actually 5.5.
Yeah.
It's 5.5 minutes that this is on there.
Yeah.
Okay, Tina, so let's go, before I answer Tina's question, back to the Easy Press. It can be done. If you want to sit there and put that pressure on there for 5.5 minutes,
try it out and show us what your results are. I would be curious to see like how it would come out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you do have to have that pressure. Like I said, the key is heating it through the tile so that it heats the whole thing up. Now, I tried normally. So I've done some research with laminating sheets, because when I was doing sublimation on they were just like paperback notebooks that I got from Amazon, cheap notebooks. What happens is the laminating sheet uses the tension and it kind of pulls it in. So what was happening is I was doing my laminating sheets at a high heat for like 30 seconds, and it was curling that. So really and truly, after doing my research, a laminating sheet will adhere to most surfaces at a lower temperature. So normally it will adhere at about 250 degrees or so, and it doesn't take it very long.
Right.
So if I was sublimating like on wood, I could take a Cricut mini press on 2 or 3 and run it over that, and it would adhere to the wood and be fine. Because the wood heats up a lot faster. What happens are these tiles stay cold, so it takes a long time for the tile to heat up, as well as a laminating sheet. And if you don't heat it for that long, trust me, I did it, the laminating sheet comes off. Yep. And it just does not work.
Yep.
Okay? So, now, to address Tina's question about the beta version of Design Space. If you guys didn't know, Design Space is currently, they have a beta version that you guys can try out. Now, if you're not sure what a beta version is, a beta version is like the second trial run of a software. So they have an alpha version. The alpha version was tested in-house at the Cricut headquarters, whatever. They tested it. So the beta version is not the live version. It's actually one that's still being tested. So these functions are things that can change in the future once it does become the live version. So to change this to the beta version, let's go to our share screen. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here to the 3 lines in the top left corner. We are going to come down here to our settings. And then here you have general, canvas, load type notifications. Just in your general, if you go to application experience, then you can click the beta or the live version. Now, if I went back to the live version, that combine feature would be gone.
Right.
Like, it's going to go away. I'm not going to, because we're in the middle of working on something, and if you do that, you're probably going to lose all of the stuff that you haven't saved.
Yeah.
But you're just going to click beta, and then you're going to click done. Okay?
And we just did a whole detailed video on how to do all of this too,
yes, and that will be coming out very soon.
Yes.
But that's just a quick snippet for those that are here. Now, if you wanted, Sharon asked, is the tile upside down? Yes, I heated the tile upside down because we're using the pillow, and the pillow is hugging our tile. Okay? Nope, there is no pressure setting on the Easy Press because it does come with pressing with your body. Could you slowly heat up the tiles before? I personally, I didn't test it that way. I just preheated the pillow because I still wanted to be able to handle this tile to move my lamination sheet around to make sure it was in the right spot. So if you want to try that, you can. This is how I tried it, and multiple times tried this, and this is how I was successful, okay? So back to our design with the Merry and Bright. Because this Marion Bright is a PNG, you can't separate this out. Now, I'm pretty sure we do have the SVG version of this file. You can just start out using the SVG version. Either one of them will work. So what I did, I placed a square over the trees and I sliced that. Remember, because one is a PNG and one is an SVG, you cannot use the combine features. So I'm just going to select that, delete it out, and we are going to delete out all of our trees. And I actually think I see a little tiny top of a tree there, but I'm not even gonna worry about that. Okay, so now that we're here, we are going to size our Marion Bright to fit within our banner. That's another thing. Someone just asked us, let's go back to one. Marina said, I use the HTV clear HTV for sublimation instead of using laminating pockets. I actually tried using the HTV on the tiles. Maybe I didn't heat it long enough, but on the tiles, it did not work for me.
Oh, really?
It really did not.
Well.
But once again, what happened was it was like, because it has to be on such a high heat, that HTV just wasn't, because it has to be on such a high heat for a long period of time, it didn't.
It was too much.
It was too much. And it was like completely, I don't know.
Did it like melt
it? It was melting it, yeah.
Okay. I think the laminating sheets just hold up to more heat, obviously.
They do hold up to more heat. Yeah. And with this tile, like I said, I did test the clear HTV for this. It just wasn't working for me. So if you want to test it and try it, more power to you.
Right.
Could you use the easy press pillow in the heat press instead? I'm sure you could. I just wouldn't want to test I just wouldn't want to take the possibility of ruining this, because this is covered. So let me not use that one because it's hot. So this, the heat press pillow, this is actually covered in a Teflon sheet.
Right.
So
it's meant for high heat.
It is meant for a very high heat for a long period of time. So it is covered in the Teflon sheet. Once again, I'm not saying to go that would work because I've not tested it. If you all know me, you know if I've not tested it, I'm not going to say if it works or not.
Right. And we've tested a lot. We've tested, we test a lot because we want to know, we want to know exactly what's going to work and what you guys are going to have on hand to use already. Yep. And so we try to test as much as we possibly
can. And that's why if you don't just, I think the pillows, they were not very expensive.
It was
I think
19.
They were like, were they 19?
But that comes with like heat tape and like extra
that was
Teflon
a whole
sheets.
kit. Like that was because we needed a new Teflon sheet. That was with different size pillows and the heat tape. Right. You can get them cheaper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like if you just wanted the individual pillow, you could get it for much cheaper.
Okay, so back to our design. What I'm going to do now, I'm selecting all 3 layers and we are going to flatten all 3 layers. Okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. So now I'm just going to delete this out. I'm just going to hide this little guy. We're going to delete this one out, and we'll delete this one out too because we're not using it. So now we just have the one. Now if you want to go ahead, if you're making multiple of these ornaments, you can duplicate. I think I was able to fit 3 or 4 on a sheet. Let's go ahead and duplicate this 4 times. Is that 4? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go to make it. Now this is going to, obviously this is telling us like it's not going to fit, but watch this. So we're going to move this one over to this guy. It's going to pull up there. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit.
It should honestly just do this on its own.
I know, it should do this on its own, but you know what?
But this is a good little hack to fit more on a print and cut sheet.
And then we're going to move this guy over here. Going to pull up there. Whoops. Oh, goodness. Move this guy up here. We want this one in the back. No, I want this one. This one was fitting here. And then if you turn this one this way, I swear I got 4 on here. Is that 4?
Take some finagling.
Maybe this is what I did. I think this is what I did.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. So you can get 4 on a sheet, just FYI. Okay, now we're gonna go to continue. I'm going to send this to my printer. I'm going to be using our SureColor F170 today. I am just gonna go ahead and add the bleed because why not?
I have a question. I'm looking at I'm lagging over here, but when it's on the print and cut sheet, one of them doesn't have lines around the Marion Bright and one does. And it makes me feel like it's going to cut out that Marion Bright banner, or is it just showing the original image?
Well, let's go back. Let's just double check.
I'm just curious why it would do that. Do you see?
I see it. It's actually on all these other ones.
Right.
And I don't understand.
I guess we'll see how it cuts because we'll have one without it and then the other ones have it. So we'll see how it cuts on the machine. I'm thinking it's going to cut right through that Marion Bright, but I don't know why because you flattened the whole image. So it shouldn't.
I did.
Okay.
And I didn't have mirror on either. So actually, let's just go to cancel. We're going to go back because I see that now. And the original one was flattened. It says it's flattened. Okay. All of them say they're flattened.
So we'll see.
I don't know if it's because this was the original and I just duplicated it.
That's what I think. Maybe that's why it looks like that.
So if I unflatten it, it looks the same. But if I select it and flatten it again, it goes away. So it's flattened.
Weird.
Unflattened looks the same.
It must just be like a glitch.
It could be because we're in the beta version and not the live version. It might just be something weird like that. We're going to leave this one like it is
just to see what happens. Yeah.
Going to go back to make it, but see, that's just that one. So we're going to turn this one.
Mirror them.
Actually, remember, we don't have to on the SureColor.
Oh, yeah. SureColor printer. It mirrors it.
It mirrors it for you. So we're going to move this one over here.
It makes our life so much easier. It is.
I want this guy back in the back. You know what? Sometimes it really irritates me. Sometimes it be testing my patience.
Oh, it's so good.
Move this one over here.
These would be such cute Christmas gifts. You could put them like with some hot chocolate, like a hot chocolate mix or something. These would be really cute for gifts.
So we're going to go to continue. Once again, we're going to send to our printer. We are using the SureColor F170 today. I'm going to be using System Dialog. We're going to select print. Remember, when you print and use System Dialog, it does pull up back here in the back. So we're going to pull this forward. Now, with the SureColor printer, so let's talk about this printer real quick. So this is Epson's sublimation printer that they come out with after they realized that everyone was converting eco tanks. They come out with the sublimation printer themselves. I'm obsessed with it. I love it.
I love it too.
It works so well. So well, in fact, that it automatically mirrors everything for you. Everything that you print on it is automatically mirrored. Now, one thing that I do want to show you guys is when we're going to talk about color matching real quick. So there are two options you can go with this. You have the Epson color controls, which is going to give you more of a deeper color. And then you have your color sync, which looks more like what you see on your image.
Right.
Okay. So this one, if we go ahead, I used the color sync. So it's what looks like, this is what looks like on the computer. So I think I want to leave it on the Epson color controls just to show you guys the difference today. Okay, so the one we're going to be doing today is going to be a little deeper. I'm just going to go ahead and warn you, tell you, the one we're doing today is going to look a little deeper than this one. So now we're going to go back to our share screen, and I'll show you, if you go to print settings, you can see it always mirrors that image, okay? So now we're going to select print. It is going to print our image. While that is printing, I actually have one already pre-cut because I don't have my Cricut out, but we'll go with it.
That's
so
fine.
While that is printing, this has now cooled down. What you're gonna do, I want you to take your true control knife, and you can cut the excess off if you want to, but you're going to take your true control knife and you're just gonna run it along the edge of this tile to get a really nice, clean cut. And like you could even angle it kind of outward a little bit to get an even better cut. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna take my scissors. I'm just gonna cut all of this off.
Get the bulk off of it.
Get the bulk off of it, yep. And then I think I'm going to remove the paper from the back as well. That's another thing, is you need to wait to let it cool down. Otherwise, that paper is going to stick to that back really, really bad, okay?
So it comes off better after it's cooled down?
Yes,
okay.
It comes off better after it has cooled down.
Okay.
So now, where did we start? I don't remember. Okay, we were over here. We're just taking our True Control knife and working our way around the edge of this tile.
So satisfying.
It really is. It's even more satisfying when you're doing it because it slides so smooth across this laminating sheet.
That's so funny. Jacqueline's own. I have that printer. I have not gotten into sublimation. Listen, open it up.
What is stopping you from getting into it?
Yeah, if you're really worried, if you're really like, I don't even know where to start, we have a sublimation course. It's $70 off right now. Sadie can drop a link for you. Basically in that course, we take you through every single step. So if you're like, I literally don't even know how to print something out of Design Space, out of Canva, we're going to show you what to do to print it. And then that would be your first step. And you can start with a simple project, like sublimating a t-shirt, sublimating an individual image onto a tumbler, things like that. But we take you through so that you're not like super overwhelmed by everything. Because I think sublimation, to me, even the name of it, I'm like, oh, that's intimidating.
It can be intimidating.
Fancy. But it's not. It really shouldn't be. Sublimation, once you've got your heat settings and stuff down, it's really a super easy craft. You just have to learn like your settings for printing and all of that type of thing.
I see that.
What?
I think it is a beta issue because this is the one that
you didn't flatten.
I didn't. See, when I duplicated them all,
it said
they were flattened.
Yeah.
But then they weren't.
Okay.
So I went back, remember, and unflattened these and flattened them again. Mm-hmm. And this one, the banner did not print out.
I'd say it's
so
just
now it's
going to
cut the banner.
Yeah. It's probably just because we're using the beta version, if I had to guess.
So before we go on, I want you guys to look at the difference in the color just on this page right here. So this is using the Epson color control, which makes it deeper and darker. And this is using the color sync, which matches what you see on your computer screen.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me.
It is crazy.
It's crazy. Okay. Now let me go ahead and move this out of the way real quick. We're going to plop our printer in the floor. Maybe.
You want me to grab you got it?
It's right here.
You want me to get that printer out of the way?
It's okay.
Okay.
I'll just move it.
We'll just step around it.
I'll push it under here because I'm going to need it later anyway. Okay, so now we're going to get our Cricut out, turn this guy on. Well, actually, we're going to plug it up first.
So does anybody have any questions so far in terms of like any of the steps that Lauren has showed us? This is my first time actually seeing that it like fully executed. I saw her like experimenting with it and stuff, but I hadn't actually seen the whole entire project. So it's been really cool for me to see how the pillow works and see how the laminating sheet works and all of that. I'm really excited to see the sublimation onto the laminate sheet.
Yes.
I think that is such a cool thing. I didn't realize that laminating film was made of polymers. Mm-hmm. And so that's why you're able to actually take the laminating sheet and put it on things and then sublimate onto that laminating sheet because it like puts a coat of polymers on whatever you're trying to sublimate on.
So now I'm actually going to, I want to see, okay, so the one that cut out, that ain't right. Oh, it mirrored it. It mirrored it.
I'm curious to see how the print and cut will work with a mirrored image.
It didn't have any issues the last time.
It should be fine because it reads the registration marks, right? Are we fitting to find? Did you print it from that printer?
Let's do this real quick. Let's go ahead and mirror it in here. And now we're going to right here. Oh, no. No, it
The worst.
always does this.
Oh, no.
Okay. So, thank the Lord, I already have one printed out. So it's going to work. So let me walk you through this real quick. Because because this was done, I did this on my maker. I forgot to go back and change because we use a Maker 3 in here. So before I started, I forgot to change it to a Maker 3. But I already have one printed out, so we're still going to get to finish it. But let me talk to you real quick. If you use the Epson SureColor printer, and working with the SureColor printer and Cricut, what you're going to have to do, I just now realized that, some of the images, it's not going to matter. Like if you just printed one, it's not going to matter because you know what? It's the same here and here.
It's on the same position.
Right. But where I tilted it one way and the other way to make them all fit, you either, after it prints, have to go back and edit your mat and turn the mirror on so it cuts correctly, or you have to turn the mirror on before you print and then in your print settings, go and turn it off. Now, if you just have an Epson Eco Tank that you've been working with, you already have to turn the mirror on anyway.
Yeah.
So it works.
Right.
This is just if you're using the SureColor printer, okay?
Right.
I have seen where people put polyacrylic on the tiles. However, I do have a tile that I have polyacrylic on. I've not sublimated on it yet. But I can already tell you it has brush strokes on it.
You can see the polyacrylic. I mean, even if you use a foam
brush strokes
roller.
and the bubbles from the polyacrylic on the tile. Whereas this one, like, you can't really even tell that there's anything on the tile.
You literally can't tell.
You can't tell anything.
Know. Yeah, you wouldn't.
And I mean, laminating sheets are super cheap.
Right.
I mean, I personally, if I was sublimating, I would choose laminating sheets on anything over polyacrylic.
If you can.
If I can. If I can do it, if I can put a laminating sheet on it. So wood is another example. I've seen people laminate using a polyacrylic on wood. I would still choose a laminating sheet.
The only time I think I wouldn't is if I didn't want a glossy finish.
Yeah.
If I wanted like to use a matte polyacrylic finish or like a satin
But
more.
what's going to happen is what happens with the polyacrylic when you sublimate on the polyacrylic, the paper a lot of times will get stuck and you have to go in and wash it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it gets stuck and it doesn't pull off super easy.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just going to use what we have. This was cut out. Really and truly, you don't have to use print and cut. You can hand cut this out. This is just in case you want it to fit right on there. You can even make this a square and just lay it on there.
Yeah.
It's going to sublimate. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my Dye-Trans Pro Spray. Now, if you want to use tape, you can. This is where you would use tape and just tape it down. This is all a personal preference. This is just what I have been using and I have been obsessed over. So I'm just going to shake it and we are going to give it a light spray. That's all it takes. No more than that. And it gets really sticky, y'all. So sticky.
It'll get on everything.
It seriously gets on everything. Like my hand right here is so sticky already. So we are going, and like, it's crazy, but it like gets on my arm hairs and my arm hairs
I know,
get
and
sticky.
then it feels weird.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And we're just going to lay this down on our towel. It adheres down beautifully. We're going to come back over here to our heat press. We are going to heat up our pillow again, okay? And then after that heats up, what we are going to do, you don't have to heat it up like the whole 330 seconds. Like, I feel like that's a little excessive.
Yeah.
Because it is going to pull it all the way, like once you sublimate, that heat's gonna go all the way through that towel. So if you wanna heat it up for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, either, like that's fine. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the full 330 seconds.
Yes.
So we've let it heat up for about 40 seconds. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull this up. Now this time I am going to place another sheet of copy paper down here. Once again, guys, y'all are gonna think I'm crazy. Upside down.
We're sublimating upside down.
We are sublimating this upside down, okay? So we're placing our towel with our sublimation paper not facing the heat source. It is facing down. So you're gonna place it upside down, and then we're just gonna place our copy paper back over top of it. And this, honestly, like the butcher paper, you could add another layer of butcher paper, but
it's fine.
the only thing is, I've been using copy paper and it's been working for me. Not on everything.
Right.
So once again, we're doing this 400 degrees, 330 seconds, the same as when we were adding the lamination sheet, okay? 400 degrees, 330 seconds. Now, this is gonna be a really good opportunity if you all have any questions to ask me your questions, because we are gonna have about 5.5 minutes until this is done.
Tina was asking how to mirror your image on the Epson Eco Tank, which that's just something where you're gonna go in whenever you print it, you're gonna go, so you're gonna be in Design Space and you're gonna have a print and cut. You're going to print it, you're gonna turn off the bleed, turn on the dialog box, send to printer.
Let's actually, okay.
Yeah, Lauren can show you.
I can show you. Let's go to our share screen and I can show you, because I think we have the Eco Tank that's already here. So we're gonna use System Dialog. This is already, we mirrored it in Design Space, but you don't have to. But if you're like working in Canva or somewhere else, we're gonna go to print. I'm gonna pull the System Dialog box up. Here we go. So we're gonna use the Eco Tank. I think this one is the Eco Tank right here. The 2760 is the one that a lot of people use or have converted. So you can go to, so media and quality, you choose your media type here, turn it on best. But then if you go to layout, you can go to flip horizontally, and that's where you can mirror it from your printer. So you don't have to mirror, so Canva is, go back to one. So Canva, when you're working with the software, with the Canva software, you can't flip. So if you design and you have text, and maybe you have an image and text and whatever, and you've created a sublimation design, you can't, there's not a place in Canva that you can just go in and flip it all.
Right.
You have to save it as a JPEG or a PNG and then re-upload it back into Canva as one image and then flip it. So this is a good place if you don't want to go through that whole process and you just want to mirror from your printer. You can just go here, go to your settings. So once again, for the Eco Tank, you would go to layout, and then you're just going to click that flip horizontally. You're either going to turn it on or off. Okay?
Easy peasy.
Is that, okay, so I think I just answered Tina's question, can I mirror it in Canva?
Yeah.
Once again, you have to download it and then re-upload it into Canva as one image and then flip that whole image. Whereas if you just design it in Canva, you can flip it horizontally from your printer settings.
Yes, and if you just pulled in an image, you can flip it in Canva, but if you add text to anything in Canva, you can't flip the text, which makes absolutely no sense.
No sense.
But that's why Lauren's saying you're going to have to save it as an image and then pull it back in and then reflect it that way, because it's just crazy.
April asked if this is heavy or light pressure. I would actually call this about a mid pressure. It's not super heavy, but it's not light. Now I had to adjust my pressure settings on my heat press because it was set up to lay completely flat down here. So I did have to adjust it, but with everything sandwiched together, I would call this about a medium pressure with everything in here.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like super hard or super heavy, but it's not just like easy to lift up.
Right.
So we're going with medium pressure.
Okay, how many? You got 93 seconds left over there.
And then after that's done, I'll show you guys how to just add the
ribbon
stuff to that one.
I turned the hot glue gun in before we started. That way it's nice and toasty.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
If you all missed it, we were talking earlier that we're doing the $70 off the sublimation course, and we're offering the $30 off of our yearly membership. So if you're brand new and you're like, what is all this stuff? What's Makers going to learn? Well, we're membership-based subscription crafting community, and we're doing the $30 off of our yearly membership, which is like a huge huge deal.
And
So,
we are constantly here bringing you inspiration, motivation, and education to use your Cricut.
We're gonna
craft and sublimate and everything else.
You guys would not believe how many times I want to say, we want to inspirate.
We want to inspirate you.
We're going to inspirate you today. Okay.
Sue, I am pressing this at 400 degrees. It's a little bit higher than normal sublimation. Normally, I sublimate at about 385.
Me too. That's like my happy
385 is my happy area for sublimation. This is a little on the high side for me. So it does, like, your paper is going to get a little toasty.
Yes.
But I would not sublimate anything else on 400 degrees because you take a risk of burning it.
Right, but the tile is so dense and thick, like that's why we have to make it so hot.
Yeah.
So, ooh, I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Okay. Well, see that toasty piece of copy paper there.
It is toasty.
So I'm going to, before I pull this out, because I want you guys to see how well this literally comes off. Like when you use the spray, everybody here in the office was always like, oh my gosh, is that going to leave a sticky residue on that? Like, I can't believe how that works.
It feels like it would.
Just watch.
Ooh.
Boom.
That looks good, girl.
And there's no sticky residue on it.
Oh my gosh, that looks so good. I need to see what it looks like on camera. I love it.
The name of the spray that we are using, if I can find it, where did I put it? It's over here. This is the Condi Dytrans Pro Spray 2. I've talked about it before. I actually tried going to their website, but it's like they have to ship this freight, I guess because it's an aerosol. I got this, I ordered it from BradshawBlanks.com. They are a small business, but that's where I ordered it from. They were super easy to work with. So I would go to BradshawBlanks.com.
I'm going to go snag that link for you guys.
And get that on there. I don't think you can put it in the, I think Sadie might have to drop it.
I'll send it. I'll send it.
This is from Bradshaw Blanks. Like I said, you can go to their website, but they were trying to they were asking, where is the best freight pickup location? And I'm like, I don't know. I want it sent to my front door. Like, I don't want to find a freight location for pickup.
That's hilarious.
This is really, really hot. You're going to let that cool down. This would be great to put like pictures of people on.
Oh, for sure.
Put like baby pictures and things like that. I'm not going to touch it. I'm actually going to use this and I'm going to move it out of the way. This is the one that I had done so that I could show you guys how to put the ribbon on the back of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a piece of red ribbon. This is just red gross grain ribbon. You don't have to use gross grain. We used a satin ribbon for this one. It's whatever you want, whatever you have that looks best. So what we're going to do, I'm actually just going to hot glue this little guy on. And how I made this loop, you can make it go to the front or the back. So if you want it this way, what you're going to do, take the two ends, pick it up, pull both of them towards you. So that leaves an opening there. Or if you want it the other way, you're just going to do it the opposite way. Do y'all see the difference in the two?
Gorgeous. They both
So I actually would probably do it not this way. I would pull it, so pick it up, pull it towards you. That kind of leaves the bigger opening towards you, okay?
Love it.
And then you can just kind of push them together. You're going to turn this guy over, flip that over as well. We're going to, I think our hot glue got a little toasty too.
Is it brown?
Yeah. Add some hot glue on our tile. Place that down. And then I'm just going to pop some, pull it up again. We're going to add some hot glue here on the inside.
You can use those Teflon pillows in between your shirts when you're sublimating if you want to.
You can.
Yeah, I mean,
they are actually great for shirts to not leave lines, like harsh lines.
Oh, yeah, that's a good, I didn't even think about it that way.
And there you go.
Tina, we're trying to get a bow class coming very soon.
Look at her.
I promise.
Actually, I think I'm going to add a little bit more here so it doesn't like move around.
Little reinforcement.
A little reinforcements.
Listen, boot camp's next week, y'all. Boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know we bring it at boot camp. Next Friday, I want to say it's next Friday, we're doing
And
this.
Look how cute.
That's darling. That's so cute. So we're doing this ornament, but it's going to be with vinyl, and we have a gift box. It's so cute. And so you can like see down inside of it. So if you make the sublimation tiles, you can make gift boxes for all of the ones that you gift, which I think is so cute.
Yes.
I love it.
So we are, like Alicia said, we are doing another version of the arabesque tile ornament if you don't have sublimation, but you still want to work with those arabesque tiles because they are very pretty. They're a super easy like DIY ornament.
And like how much is it for like the square of all of them?
For the whole sheet, I want to say it was like $5.
$5. You can give one to everyone in your family. There's
Yeah.
like, what, like
I think
15?
I tested so many of them. I was like, we're going to run out, and we still have like 5 left on the sheet.
We have plenty. So you can gift it to everybody.
But we're doing that. We are doing an
For boot
ugly
camp?
Christmas sweater.
It's very cute. It's very cute.
We're incorporating sublimation and vinyl for the ugly Christmas sweater.
I did an exploding gift box, like an accordion money gift box, and I don't know, these were really, is my little tray, my quilt tray?
It's back there. Do you want to go get it? You want me to go grab it?
I'll grab it since I'm over here.
I think the ugly Christmas sweater is back there too.
I'll grab it so they can see it too.
So we got our tiles from Lowe's. That's where the bigger ones are, and that's where the arabesque shape that we have on our website, that's the template that we used for that shape. So we got them at Lowe's. The dates for boot camp, it runs Monday through Friday, right? Or is it Tuesday through Friday?
Ooh, I want to say it's Monday through Friday. I think it's Monday through Friday.
I'm pumped for boot camp too. Oh no.
I popped my mic off. Okay, you show them your sweater while I organize myself.
So here is my little ugly Christmas sweater that my family has not seen that I'm gonna wear. I'm just gonna come in wearing this on Christmas. And
you're a reindeer.
Yeah, I'm a reindeer. I'm back in the back.
There's little Rudolphs and scarves and hats. I love it. It's so cute.
And Frosties.
And
there's Santa. It's Santa hat.
Precious.
But yes.
I love it. And then this is one that we're going to be making also. This is like a quilt. I don't know what you want to call it. Like a quilted scrapbook paper Mod Podge hack that we did.
Yep.
And then we added some HTV on wood. So we're going to be interchanging like different projects. Like you're doing sublimation and HTV. I'm doing Mod Podge hack and HTV on wood. So lots of really fun projects. Griff Moto is my husband. If y'all see him and he says something mean, you tell him to keep his mouth shut.
Get off, Trey.
Go get back to work.
Get back to work.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Tina asked I didn't see your question about the lamination sheets. Mine is thin. I don't know what thickness it was. I just got the
it's like the Scotch
cheap brand.
I think it's the Scotch brand that we have.
Yeah, but I've also used the Walmart brand too, and they work just as good.
Yeah, I've used the Scotch brand in that one too. So
Kevin, they said your all's nearest Lowe's is 3.5 hours away. You can actually order those online and have them shipped.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, or like I said, if you have a Home Depot, we did have found other arabesque ornaments. The only thing I would do is I would measure the largest part. If you didn't have the exact tile that we used, I would measure the largest part of my tile and then just do like a square.
Right, that way it goes around the whole thing.
Yes.
So those little ones are from Home Depot.
I would do 3 millimeter, I guess, if I had to choose between 3 or 5. I don't really know.
It wouldn't matter.
It
wouldn't matter. 5 millimeter is going to be a little bit thicker, but it just won't matter.
But I think the 3 millimeter, I think the 3 millimeter is what we have because it's not super thick, and I think it would work better when like pushing out air bubbles.
Yeah. That's
and like
very true.
adhering around the sides.
Yeah. Because it's more bendy because it's thinner.
Because it's thinner.
That's very true. You don't have to sign up for boot
Nope.
camp. Nope, just show up next week.
Just show up
We'll
next
be here.
week. We will be here on YouTube.
Yeah. So if you're not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. And
Excuse me. Sorry. I sound like a barking dog.
she's almost done with being sick. Say a prayer.
If I do not get over this in the next few days,
She will. You'll do
I
it.
literally, y'all, this is a confession. I had such a bad coughing fit last night. One, I didn't think I was going to have a voice when I woke up this morning. And two, I literally sat and cried because I just wanted it to be over.
I hate
and it
that.
hurt so bad.
Oh,
But anyway, we're here. We're here. We're having a good time.
Oh, so funny. We'll be here at noon or Eastern Standard, right? And then we'll be on the YouTube channel. What I was going to say is subscribe and make sure you hit the little bell beside the subscribe button. That way, every time we post, it'll notify you on your
Yes.
phone. And so you'll know, oh, they're going live. I need to hop on. Ooh,
Yep.
I need to hop on and make sure I don't miss anything. So, but yeah, let's see. I see we got another question.
So Penny said, I have trouble with a laminating sheet pulling right off the wood. Maybe I have too thick of a paint layer. I've never even tried to have a layer of paint and then,
I've only done it on raw wood.
yeah, I've only done it on raw, but no, Tanner did it on painted wood.
Okay.
He did. If it's pulling right off, then it sounds to me like there's not enough heat because that's what was happening with the tiles is I was just doing it for a little bit of time and it was pulling right off. So I would try it at a little bit higher of a temperature and see what it does.
Or even let your paint cure for like 48
A lot
hours.
longer, yeah.
Like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Thieves Tea is really good for the cough and lemon and honey. Y'all, I'm trying everything. I really am.
Covering all the bases. All right. Well, we got lunch before we came on here, so we're going to go eat. And make sure if you didn't, you wish Tanner a happy late birthday. He had a birthday last week, and we love Tanner, obviously.
24, he's getting old.
Oh, he's an old man.
It makes me sick.
Disgusts me.
Disgust me.
Oh, Lord. Okay,
Okay, guys.
We'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.